Hey everybody, welcome back to Marsh RC, sponsored and brought to you by White Rose Hobbies. This is the next video in the White Rose Hobby Truck build. We're using the SCX10 kit. This is video 2. We already accomplished a few things here. Let me show you what we got going on. As you can see, we've already got the axles, links, transmission, and transfer case completed. Next up, we're just kind of following along in the instruction manual here. So we're going to be going on to the drive shafts, battery tray, bottom skid plate, start putting things on the rails. I'm going to do the same thing I did in the first videos. I'm just going to build. We'll stop and show a little bit here, a little bit there. Anything I think you guys might need to see, or if there's anything tricky about it or any features that I want to show you, I'll make a little clip there and put it all together, and I'll see you when we're done. Alright, welcome back. So I've done a few things. I've done the drive shafts, which are here, and the rest of the drive shafts are already mounted onto the skid plate. I wanted to stop here and show you this one pieces right here, which are actually really cool, and I wanted to show them. That's why. So these pieces right here go on top of your servo. This is a chassis mounted servo, so they go right here on top of the servo, and then your servo drops down in and gets bolted in here. These are the pieces I'm showing you right here, and they're really neat because they have this bend in them and it's flexible. What's cool about that is it's where you use them to route wires throughout the build. Actually, yeah, right here. So it's showing you right here to route them through there, and there's actually more that come with the kit. Some smaller ones and then 2 more large ones. So that's a really cool feature. I know a lot of guys are zip tying. I zip tied my wires all over the place, so it's kind of cool that Axial includes those in these kits. Alright, catch you next stop. Alright guys, welcome back. I didn't stop for a whole lot in this part of the build because it's not really necessary to. There's not a whole lot to this part of the build. It's nothing really complicated, but I want to stop here and kind of show you where we're at, which is we have the rear shock towers on, we have both plates on the side, we have the front shock towers on. One neat thing about this chassis as well, I know I covered it a little bit earlier in this video, but to go along with it, so we have these little clips I pointed out earlier that hold the servo wire down. Right here is the beginning of it. You can see, try and get in there so you can see it. There's a channel in there, and that channel goes all along the back here and pops out right here, where you can come out and go straight into the receiver box. Now, it's a nice feature because it keeps things away nice and tight and tidy. I didn't put the wire in the servo cable through there for 2 reasons. One, it's not long enough. I'd have to actually flip this around, which is no big deal. I can easily do that. But the biggest reason is this hasn't been waterproofed yet, so I'm gonna have to take it off. And in order to do that, in order to take that out and waterproof it, you actually have to take this whole plate off, which doesn't seem like a much, but it actually gets bolted into the battery holder, the skid plate, and all over the place. So it actually gets bolted into numerous places, right here, and right here. And I didn't want to have to take all that back off when I needed to take the servo off to remount it, to waterproof it then. So that's where we're at. The next step is we're going to get the shocks set up and install the shocks along with the axles, and that's where we're going to cut it for this video. Sorry, my camera's moving around. The axles that we have are, like we talked about in the first video, there they are, the Proline Power Stroke 6060-00. 90 to 95 millimeter, and of course, oh, I'm gonna have to reach. We do have 2 packs of them. So that's what I'm going to do next, and I'll catch you guys when it's all done. Alright guys, there we are. We got the axles installed, got the shocks on, and that's going to be where we end this video. The next video that we'll be doing, we will have the motor and the ESC, and I'm pretty excited about that. We did switch up what we decided to put in there. We're going to be going with a Castle Creations Puller Pro and the Mamba X ESC, but we'll go over that in the next video. So there they are. Decided to keep the dual springs on for now, test it out that way, see how it goes. Got all the links installed, drive shafts are all installed, and there you go. That's it. I will note when putting the shocks on for this, in the rear, we had to take the end part of the axle off to get in there. I mean, I guess I could just swap these into the rear so that the screw was out of the way, but it'll be all right there for now. Like I said, whenever I start doing adjustments on these, I'm just gonna flip them so that screws on the back. Maybe, I don't know. I kind of like it up here. That way you don't see it from the rear, so it looks a little more scale. It wouldn't look quite as good having that in the rear. So I don't know. Just something to take note of. Eventually I got to tear it all apart anyway, because we'll be getting the new links from RC Command. So whenever they come in, you heard that ding? That's actually Nick from RC Command texting me about the LLB. So there you go. There it is. It's all done, and we'll catch you guys in the next part when we start installing the motor and ESC. Again, guys, like, subscribe, share. I'll have links down in the description, and get outside and drive.